This next one is it's my trip up the South Canal and the North Canal, and it's going to be in I don't know, it'll be in a few parts, this one, because it's a good long trip up there. I saw some beautiful sights. It starts off somber, as you'll see at the beginning, something that happened in 2019. I talk about it in the beginning. But yeah, this is part one of I don't know how many parts of my trip from the Yukon up into the Northwest Territories, up the South Canal first, and then eventually up the North Canal. But like I said, it's going to be in many parts. So anyway, I'm working on it right now. So enjoy, because that's what's coming. Wild Bill, out.
Okay, what I'm about to record here is very somber, actually. I was camped up in northwestern Ontario when those two fellas, kids, killed a guy, stopped at a rest stop here between Iskoot and Dease Lake, and there was a big manhunt, and they thought the fellas were heading, those two guys were heading towards Manitoba, and there was a big hunt, man, and I was near the Manitoba border, so I was kind of thinking, geez, you know, everybody was concerned because these two fellas were out, and they'd already murdered this fella here who was apparently at this rest stop right here off 16, and this is between Dease Lake and Iskoot, and this is the memorial to this poor fella and his family. Can you imagine the horror that was? This is I believe this is the memorial right here. Leonard Dick. That was such an awful time, and wow, I can't, it's just, I remember that because, like I said, I was I was doing what I'm doing here, but in northwestern Ontario near Sioux Lookout and Silver Dollar, and you know, actually I was up at Schreiber, Rossport area at that time, but we were heading that way, and yeah, my condolences to the family. What an awful thing. He was at this rest stop and was murdered here. I mean, that's just, and the whole thing was just tragic, you know. It was just tragic. But this is the place here, and there's a memorial here, and I just thought I'd stop and pay my respects. Yeah, he was just, I believe he was just camping and traveling. Kind of like I am, right? Kind of like I am, so. You just never know what's out there, you know. We bring bear spray for bears and this, and you're careful on the road. But you just don't know the unpredictability sometimes of some people. But anyway, I'm heading up to the Yukon, and I just thought I'd stop and, like I said, pay my respects. You know, to a tragic time. Anyway, Wild Bill, out. You know you're having problems when you're up. Shid Creek. This is not too far from Watson Lake. I'm still on 37 North, but you can see how extensive the forest fire damage was here. I'm just panning, and it's all just burnt. It's all burnt out. It's all burnt out. Look at that, like that lake down there. Look at all the trees. They're just, I should go right up to the edge here and show you the trees laying down here. Look at that. There's a lake up there. It's just, everything's just burned. Wow, that must have been one raging fire that was through here. And I'm assuming it was last year. I'm assuming it was last year. Here comes a vehicle. So, yeah, pretty extensive fire damage here. You can see off into the distance where that vehicle just went. But look at the mountains in the background there, way off in the distance. Wow, it's beautiful, but the burnt. I mean, it's a shame, but I don't know if it was man-made or a natural fire or what. I guess it happens. Anyway, Wild Bill from almost at the Yukon out. Well, I'm on the Alaska Highway. I'm gonna gas up at some place called Nugget City. So I guess maybe this is it right here. Yeah. I was gonna go to Watson Lake, but this is on the way to the direction I'm going. So anyhow, here we go into Nugget City on the Alaska Highway. Gas up. Wild Bill. Oot. Yep, I'm in the Yukon. I've never had this beer or seen it before. It's Ice Fog IPA, Yukon Breweries. Same as the Chilkoot and the other one, the English, classic English clear ale or whatever it's called. But this is, I'm at a lake in the Yukon. I'm going to stay here tonight. It's kind of early, it's 4:30, whatever. I've been driving for a while, so I thought I'd stop. But this is totally, it looks like a Northern Ontario lake. And Nye Overlander, people that have stayed here, said that they've seen mooses, as they said, which is kind of funny. Maybe they're from Europe or something, but it was just cute. It was funny. Mooses coming out across the lake. So I'm kind of looking forward to seeing that. I don't know whether that'll happen. Nothing's guaranteed, but wow, look at the lily pads. Yeah, it's pretty cool. And the mountains are over that away. But yeah, this is a Yukon first camp here. I'd like to chuck something on. I wonder if this looks like there'd be pike and whatnot in here. Same stuff like would be in Northern Ontario, but who knows what was in here or is in here. A moose would be neat to see come out. I'd like that. Yeah, anyhow. Wild Bill from the Yukon out. Wow, look at this. This is absolutely beautiful. Holy mackerel, it's a postcard. An absolute postcard. Matter of fact, I think I'm going to have breakfast here. That's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm gonna have brekkie here. Just gonna back right into this spot here. And have some breakfast. Wild Bill out. Here I am. I just pulled off. This is a little pull off in the Yukon. And I'm just gonna have some breakfast. Got my awning out. It takes 2 seconds to put it out. And look at this view. Look at this view. I mean, other than the garbage cans right there, but look at the mountains. And that swamp down, or the marshy area, not a swamp, marshy area down there. It'd be nice to see a moose down there. Yeah, I'm still gonna have some breakfast. I saw how beautiful the view was and I thought, what a great place to have breakfast. So here I am, just setting up right now. Yep, Wild Bill, having some brekkie. August 5th or 6th, doesn't doesn't matter. 2024, back in the Yukon. Out.
Wow. More beautiful views. These mountains are so nice. Huge valleys and massive mountains. Absolutely incredible. Bridge, Nitsulan River Lake Bridge. It's a river. And they're building another one beside it, a new one. I remember this last year, but I guess they were building it last year. They must have got pretty far along on it. Stop here for fuel and check when I need to get on that canola road. Anyhow, bell from Teslin, Yukon Territory, out. Well, I'm heading to Canola Road, and I'm going to take it right up past the Robert Campbell Highway and up to the border of the Northwest Territories where it ends. I think it might go a little bit past there. And then I'll camp up around through there. Pretty rough country. Bought some extra food and stuff. And then I'm going down. I'm going to take the Nahali Road when I go down Robert Campbell. When I come back, I'll go down, hit Ross, gas up, because there's gas at Ross. And then take the Nahali, and it goes into the Northwest Territories a little bit. Yeah, look, really, I'm kind of excited about that. I wasn't really planning on that, but I looked on the map and I said, wow, that looks great. So that's what we're doing. Next stop is the Canola Road and Erin Down.
So I'm in Johnson Landing, which is right here. And I'm going to be going up this Canole River, or Canole Road, River Road, all the way up to here. And Ross River, there's fuel right here. I'm going to be, I don't know how long I'm going to be doing this, albeit for a while. My first camp spot's going to be right in about here somewhere, because I've been up here to that point. I'm going to pass the Robert Campbell Road and go right up to the border of Northwest Territories, and I can see there's a road that goes beyond that. Then when I come back at Ross River, I'll fuel up. I'm going to head back down and I'm going to do the Nahanni Range Road, which goes right into Northwest Territories there. And then I'll come back and then head to Watson Lake. So I wanted to make sure my fuel tanks were full, but this is what I'll probably be, probably a week or more off-road, like not on paved roads. The bitumen ends not far. I'm going to go right up this road here, over the bridge, and it's the first left on the bridge. I'm going to air down, and I'm going to be on rough roads for, I don't know, quite some time. I actually went and did some grocery shopping, topped up on my water, got my fuel. I mean, Ross has got fuel, but I want to make sure that I'm good on the fuel. So anyhow, Wild Bill about to go on some pretty remote roads here. Out. Airing down the tires. The sign says, warning, no services next 226 kilometers.
So there we go. Up the South Canole to Ross, there's fuel there, and then the North Canole. Gosh, a narrow winding road for 226 kilometers. So here we go on the South Canole. Aired down to 18 in the front and 19 at the back. PSI 1.1 and 1.3 bar. So I know where I'm going for my first stop, where I want to stop tonight to have supper and whatnot. Anyhow, here we go. Wild Bill and the South Canole River, Yukon Territory, out. This road is a veritable roller coaster. It's the spot I want to stop for tonight. It's a beautiful overlook that overlooks the Nutsulan River. Looks like they're doing a little bit of repairs to this road, filling in some potholes, which is nice to see. Yeah, 226 kilometers. Truck, big trailer, it's all around. A bloody ATV. I don't know, man. The price of ATVs? You might as well just get a two-door Jeep, man, and you can set that up. Hell, you can sleep inside it if you wanted to. I was just talking to a guy back in Tesla, and he said, yeah, native fella, really nice guy. He said, yeah. He said, for the price of the ATVs, the side-by-sides and all that, just buy a Jeep. Sleep inside it, call stuff with it. It's a true vehicle, but it can go off-road. Almost any place an ATV can go. Boy, there's a little bit of washboard here, but luckily the tires being aired down is helping that out. So I got 597 clicks to end, so wow, there's no washboard stuff going on here. Yeah, it was a rough road, I remember last year. And I stayed, the place I want to go to is where I stayed last year. It was really nice. It was an overlook. Really beautiful overlook. Figured out on Overlander. Yeah, this is a true track here. You know, like it's rough as hell. It's kind of like the Trans-Taiga and places very much like the Trans-Taiga actually in northern Quebec. This is narrow. I mean, the Trans-Taiga is narrow in places too. In places it's wide. It's like this buried rocks, you know, round rocks sticking out of the ground. Yeah, it's like this for 226 kilometers. Up, down, twisting, winding, rough. That's why I went grocery shopping. I picked up some hamburger meat, more eggs, more bacon, make sure my water was topped up, fuel's topped up. Probably going to be doing a oil change out here too, because I'm close to that. I'm about 400 and have someone plowing it all the time. Should be snowed right in. Anyway, it's a beautiful little rough road, I'll tell you. Just meandering through the countryside, up and down hills. Just like this. Pretty remote little road. Anyway, Wild Bill from the Canole Road, Yukon.
This is a Nitsulan River morning. Yeah. Beautiful morning. Gonna have some brekkie and head on my way down the Knoll Road. The canoeists they all left. When I got up, they were just getting in their canoes and heading off peacefully down the Nitsulan River. Beautiful morning. Wild Bill out. Well, I aired my tires down. I'm at the Nitsulan overlook. I've filmed already. And my tires looked a little bit too low. I aired them down. It was pretty hot. To 18 pounds. And now in this morning I think they're below 15, so that's the thing with airing tires up and down is you have to take into account that they're going to heat up and then cool off. I'd like to have these at 18 pounds because they're looking a little, especially with the weight that I'm carrying. If I wasn't carrying this weight, then I'd probably be okay with it, but it's how they look, right? And I saw it. I mean, look, you can see how deflated they are, and it's a bit too much for my liking. The front doesn't look too bad because a lot of the weight's in the back, right? Even though the engine's up front and everything, but I got fuel and everything. That's what I'm doing. I'm gonna, and I got my tire pressure gauge. I'm gonna bring them to probably 18 pounds cold, and that should be good. And I'm gonna be taking her easy on that road because it is rough with crazy potholes. I just figured that was a little bit too low. So yeah, that's something, you know, with airing down that you got to take into consideration. How hot's the tire when you air it down? And if you're camping overnight someplace, it's cool. What's it going to be when you wake up in the morning? You know, and yeah, it'll heat up and go back up again. But even when I was hot, I was thinking, this feels a little bit too low for my liking. So anyway, I'm going to be getting this fired up and putting some pounds and a few pounds in each tire. Anyway, Wild Bill, or points of a bar. Wild Bill out.
So that was part one of a multi-part series of my trip up to the Northwest Territories, to the McMillan Pass, through the Yukon and the South and North Knoll routes, through some rough, potholed, remote roads with beautiful scenery. So if you like that sort of thing, follow me along in this multi-part series. Like, subscribe, and share. I'd really appreciate it. Wild Bill out.